All right, guys, we're gonna do 6 examples together, and hopefully after we go over these 6, you feel comfortable to go through and graph some on your own. So if I go too fast or if there's something you don't understand, feel free to slow down the video or back it up and watch it again. So just make sure that you're using this time wisely to really try to understand. Otherwise, when we get back tomorrow, you're gonna be behind. So the first one, I need to pick out what is my slope, what is my y-intercept. My slope is -1. My y-intercept is 3. So remember, we start with our y-intercept, we go up 3. And a slope of -1 is telling me to go down 1, over 1, down 1, over 1, down 1, over 1. And remember, before I just go and draw my line like I'm used to, I have to look at my symbol. This greater than is going to tell me to have a dotted line or a dashed line, and is going to tell me to shade. If this is greater than, it's going to tell me to shade above. So what my line should look like is a dashed or dotted line, and my shading, and you can just use a pencil for this, you don't have to use markers, but you can, is gonna be above. So then I added 2 questions down here. I want you to list a solution and a non-solution. So if I look at this, a solution is any point that's in this purple shading. So what I can go through and do is maybe just draw a point right here. That would be a solution. That point is 3, 3. That means if I would sub in x and y, this would be a true statement, like 5 is greater than 3, or 10 is greater than 7, something that is true. A non-solution would be something outside of the shading, so maybe like 0, 0. That's outside of the shading. Another non-solution would be something that's on this line because it's dashed. So for example, this point, maybe right here. That's a non-solution because it is on that dashed line. So if I would sub those numbers in for x and y, it would not be true. So that would be a 2 and a 1. If this was a solid line, then it would be a solution. So just try to keep that in mind and get that straight in your head. All right, next one. My slope is 2/3. My y-intercept is 6. So if you look, my y-intercept is going to be 6, and it's going to go there. My slope of 2/3 is telling me to go up 2 over 3. But notice I'm all the way up here. So if I can't go up 2 over 3, I'm going to go down 2, back 3. And notice if I would go back, it's up 2 over 3. So sometimes you just have to work backwards. It should look something like that. Now this symbol here is telling me it's solid because it's a less than or equal to. So the equal to tells me solid. And if it's less than, that tells me I'm going to shade below. So my line is going to look like this. Again, that's the same as what we've done in previous chapters, but now I just add this shading underneath. So instead of the solutions only being on the line, the solutions are in that entire shaded area. So a solution could be 0, 0. That is in the shading. There's so many things you could write. Another solution could be this point right here, 0, 6, because it's on the solid line, so that is a solution. A non-solution would be anything outside of the shading, so maybe right here. That is -5, +5. And again, there's so many different things you could write. So if you were thinking something different, that is okay. All right, last one in this row is x is less than 4. So this one's a little different. We have to think x, y, Van Halen. Now I'm on this side. It's going to be x equals, it's going to be vertical. So I'm going to find 4 on the x-axis, which is right here. And notice it's a less than. So that tells me that it's going to be dotted or dashed. So I know that my line, even though normally we would just draw a vertical line right here, it's going to have to be dashed. And this is where it gets tricky with horizontal and vertical. It's going to be shaded below. And now when you look at this line, you're probably like, well, there is no above, there is no below because it's vertical. But think about below, think less than, lower numbers. So on this side or this side, which side are the lower numbers on? It's going to be back here. So if I'm looking for solutions or non-solutions, a solution would be anything back here, so 0, 0. If you're wondering why I'm using 0, 0, it's just nice and easy because I don't have to count. I know 0, 0 is right there, so I don't have to count back 3 or up 4 and try to figure out what that ordered pair is. A non-solution would be anything in this area, so maybe like right here, which would be 6, 0. Or another non-solution would be something on the line, like right here. That would be 4, 2. That is a non-solution because it is a dashed or a dotted line. All right, we have 3 more. I just have to move my camera pedestal here. All right. We have y is greater than negative x. My slope is -1. My y-intercept is 0. I picked this one on purpose because a lot of times people see this and think it's something crazy, but think about y equals mx plus b. Your m is -1, your b is 0. So I start here. My slope is -1 over 1, so it's down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. The greater than tells me dashed or dotted. Greater tells me shade above. So it's going to be a dashed line, and I'm shading above. Okay? I'm going to skip the solution, non-solution for this one just because I think you can get the hang of it, and my video can only be 8 minutes long, so I have to get these next 2 done in 2 minutes. So if I look at E, my slope is -3. My y-intercept is 2. So I go up to 2 on my y-axis, and my slope of -3 tells me to go down 3 over 1, down 3 over 1, down 3 over 1. This less than or equal to tells me to have a solid line because of the equal sign, and shade below because of the less than. And if you're having a hard time remembering that, use that little table on the back side of this paper. This is also a tricky one with above or below. So Mrs. Costello uses an analogy, like if you think about where a roller coaster would be riding on this hill, a roller coaster couldn't ride on this side, so it would be riding on this side. So that's the top of the line. This would be the bottom of the line. All right, last one. Y is greater than -2. Hopefully we're getting the hang of these vertical and horizontal ones. This is going to be horizontal. So I'm going to find -2 on the y-axis. Again, notice it's just a greater than, no equal sign. So this is going to be dotted or dashed. And it's greater than, I'm going to shade above. So that's going to look like this. And my shading is going to be up here. So if you want to go through, and it's kind of nice maybe to have your notes written and then go back and watch the notes and listen again, just so maybe if you didn't get the first time, you can get some more understanding the second time if it went a little too fast. So what you're going to do now is you're going to go to the practice worksheet and complete numbers 1 to 9, and then 13 to 14. There's 2 or 3 that you skip, and it's noted on there for you. And you are turning that practice in, so make sure you are really trying your best. Ask someone for help, a teacher, a classmate if you need it.